Another Vinegar Syndrome title, and this one is Blood Games, one which I judged purely on the cover. I wanted this because it looked amazing, and I just thought, I don't want to know much about it. I'm just going to go into this one, and what we have here is a kind of backwater revenge flick. You have this group of female baseball players that is kind of like just a private team, but this team's very good, and they're going to play this group of guys who are guys. They're drinking while they're playing, they're being crude, they're trying their best, but these girls are just organised and they're kicking their asses. So the guys, being completely misogynistic tools that they are, decide to start beating the girls physically during the game, elbowing them, tripping them up, but still to no avail. The girls can fight back perfectly as well as the gents and still trounce them in this game. And it turns out that the two kind of managers of these teams, one a kind of father figure to Babe, baseball player, and one of the guys that was beat, his father, has made a bet on money. And of course they don't really want to pay up, and a fight ensues, and it turns out that these girls are on the bus, on the run, trying to escape from this town with their injured father, when these yokels pop up with guns shooting at them, and one ends up dead. And it turns out that all these people are going to chase these girls down and try to kill them. And what I liked about this one is it leans into its exploitation fantastically well. Most of the time, I'd say like a good 95% of the time, the actors are on board and doing terrific work. Whether it's the girls, who really do come across as a unit, you know, a team, friends, or whether it's the bad guys who are just gloriously inept or over the top. Everybody seems to be going for it. There is probably one scene where it just felt as if they could just have done with another little take, and that's when the main bad guy's son has been killed, and he's standing there fueled with anger and rage, and he gives this impassioned speech about $1,000 for every one of those girls' heads if they're dead. And he kind of chants up all these alcoholic, drunk yokels with shotguns to come with him to get this money, and he's just like, "Are you with me?" And the crowds of people behind him are just like, yeah, sure. It's Saturday night. What else are we going to do other than hunt these women down and kill them? Just, it's so like just matter of fact, but it's kind of funny and fitting for this one. Now, what you get with this movie is lots of really good kind of action interspersed with really good bloody scenes. But I really liked the bad guys in this. A lot of them, like I said, were kind of inept and funny along with it. They kept trying to get the upper hand, and these women just kept beating them down. And you get the aspect of this tenacious bunch of women who just won't give up, who kind of gather round each other. When somebody starts to fade a little bit, they build them back up, they bring them along, and it's just this wonderful sense of teamwork and outsmarting these vicious killers who have a little bit of a problem finishing the job. There is some wonderful sequences, especially like a chase at one point where one of the bad guys jumps onto the bus and is shooting inside it. There is a wonderful sequence of these girls just trying to get through the woods while these guys are closing in on them. And we get a terrific finale at this old abandoned kind of factory, which is just a fitting end to this movie. Blood Games was a thrill from start to end. I loved the female characters. I loved the way that they interacted together. I really liked the kind of bad guys who were over the top, who were cheesy a little bit, who weren't capable of doing the job, but they were incredible, like fun to watch this group of guys trying to be the bad guys, but just failing countless times. The women outsmarted them constantly. The women were vicious at points as well. And Blood Games was incredibly well shot. It looks really good for the time that it came out, the way that it's framed, the way it follows the action, the way it has a good sense of pacing and style about it. It has no real down points. It has enough action and surprises throughout it to keep you on your toes during the 90-minute runtime. It's vicious, it's funny, it's really entertaining, it looks really good, and this was one that I really enjoyed from start to finish and will thoroughly recommend Blood Games. Terrific movie, a terrific backwater revenge flick through these woods as women on the run from yokels with shotguns and a couple of brain cells, not enough to cause them real grief. I want to know your thoughts on this movie if you've seen it. I don't know if it was called anything else, but Blood Games from Vinegar Syndrome looks amazing, is amazing, and is one that I will recommend if you're into these kind of movies. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.